Have you ever felt like trading just adds more chaos to your already packed schedule? If so, yeah, I felt like that too. See, I didn't get into trading because I wanted to be glued to the charts all day. I wasn't chasing Lambos or some made up fantasy about quitting my job overnight. I just wanted a little bit more breathing room, my mornings, my evenings, and some sort of control over my life. And also be in control of my own time. And the truth is, trading almost made that worse at first. I remember getting up early, trying to squeeze learning into sessions before work, sometimes even trying to trade the London session, even though I lived in the Midwest in the United States. I was checking charts during breaks, and I was also listening to podcasts while making dinner and staying up way too late watching YouTube videos I didn't fully understand. All of that work was really exhausting. So fast forward to some years later, something a little unexpected happened. I got laid off from my job. And that could have been a moment when I panicked, but I didn't. And that was because I had something that most people don't, a skill that I had already started building years ago. And I developed a system that I could rely on. I talk about that full story in this video right here in the cards, so definitely cue that up after this one. And in this video, I want to show you what happened before all of that. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I used trading to buy back my time while I was still working full time at that time, and how you can do the same without burning out and gambling your paycheck every 2 weeks. So let's rewind to when I was just getting started. Look like waking up before sunrise, spending hours marking up my charts, and sitting in front of the markets all day and night. And I mean literally logging off, feeling like I understood way less than when I started that day. And if I'm being honest, part of me thought that was normal. Like maybe if I just push harder, watch more videos, stayed up later, try more strategies, then eventually all of this stuff would finally click. So a little spoiler alert for you, it did not. In fact, the more I tried to do everything, the more burnt out I got. And the more I second guessed every single trade that I took. But when I finally took a step back, I simplified and I added some structure. That's when things started changing. So here's what we're going to do today. By the end of this video, you will have a game plan for creating a trading routine that fits your life and not the other way around. I'll share what almost made me walk away from trading temporarily, because prior to trading, I was an investor and I had a lot of success investing. And that investing allowed me to take 2 professional sabbaticals. The first was for 7 months, where I traveled across the United States and also stayed in Europe for a couple of months, traveling to France, Switzerland, and Belgium. And the second one was for 2 years, where I could finish my MBA from Yale and also travel. So I know the power of these markets. So I never was to the point where I wanted to quit trading totally. I just wanted to take a little break. And that's the key mindset shift that helped everything finally start to click. And now I've helped other traders, especially people working full-time jobs or raising families. It's really rewarding to me to help people build real structure into their trading process. Because if you're anything like me, you don't want trading to take over your life. You want it to give you your life back and give you more options inside of life. So let's talk about why trading felt so hard, especially in the beginning. So first off, there's way too much noise in this space. Everyone online seems to have a different opinion about trading, and they all sound so confident and so sure of themselves, right? At least that's how I felt when I first started. One person was saying scalp the 1-minute chart. Another person said swing trade the weekly levels. And another person used 12 different indicators. And then somebody else says don't use any indicators because they don't work. I know I was one of those people at first. But with all of that noise, what do you actually do? So you try a little bit of everything. And then suddenly you got 20 different tabs open from 4 different strategies and no real direction as to what you should actually do inside of the market. And like I said before, that was me. I was spending hours on TradingView, watching candles move up and down and hoping that something would finally click. I got to the point where I couldn't tell if I was studying or just staring at the charts. And the worst part of it was that I was doing all this stuff around a full-time job. I'll sneak in chart sessions before work and then rush to check my setups after my commute. And then I stay up late reviewing trades. And then all of this stuff was being done at the time when I should have been resting. I felt like I had a second job, but with none of the benefits. No paycheck, no structure, just stress, and really nothing to show for it, at least in the beginning. And I know a lot of you may be in that same boat right now. Maybe you're a working professional, maybe you're a parent or a caretaker or someone that is doing something else in addition to trading, or at least learning how to trade. And you're constantly trying to find these little pockets of time in order to work it in. So the turning point for me was realizing that more screen time didn't always equal more progress. What I needed in my life was less noise, less guessing, and then just less stress overall. I needed some kind of structure. And if any of this is hitting home for you, where you felt like trading is taking more of your life than it actually gives, it's going to be like that in the beginning. But I want to provide some resources for you to check out. So first, if you're just getting started and you want to learn the right way without drowning in random advice, then go ahead and join the Trading Launchpad. It helps you build the foundation. It gives you exactly what you need to start with clarity and direction. Maybe if you're somebody that's beyond the basics and you're looking for more consistency and structure inside of your trading, especially if you're trying to balance it with a full-time job, that's exactly what I teach inside of the Profitable Traders Academy. Both links are in the description box below, so pick the one that's going to best fit you right now. But stay with me, because in this next part, this is where everything really changed for me. And for me, this is when trading actually got good. So let me walk you through the shift that turned it all around for me. It wasn't some new mystical magical indicator. It wasn't some secret strategy that nobody else knew about. It was literally structure. So what I did is I gave myself 2 check-in windows each day, one before work and one after work. That's it. And not really anything in between except for a quick check on the chart, maybe for 1 to 2 minutes in between meetings or something like that, because sometimes, depending on my schedule, I didn't have any time to check anything. But it was no constant refreshing my charts or checking my P&L, which is profit and loss, during meetings. None of that. There was also no taking trades, random trades in the middle of the day for a maybe this will work out type of setup. So each morning I sit down with my coffee and my breakfast, and then I look at the levels that I've marked. Sometimes I'd skip the breakfast and I'll just eat that at work, but I'll sit down with my charts, I'll review my plan, and then ask myself one question: do I see my setup? And if the answer was no, I just close my charts and move on with my day. But if it was a yes, I knew exactly what I was looking for and how I'd enter the market. That shift alone gave me so much freedom, not just in my schedule, but mentally. I wasn't second guessing every move I made inside of the market anymore. Not second guessing my entries, and I wasn't glued to my phone or my charts worrying that I was missing something. And that's especially because when I had my setup, I would set alerts, and instead of reacting to the market all day, I was responding to the market with intention because I knew exactly what I was looking for. There were even times when I didn't take all the trades, but I still felt successful because I followed my plan. And sometimes I missed trades. Okay, I follow my plan. And that's what structure does for you. It turns trading from a guessing game to a routine. It also lets you build confidence over time, not just from your winning trades, but from consistent behavior. Because even though you may take a trade and it works out, if it wasn't in your plan, it's not a good trade. Yes, getting money from the market is great, but you have violated that part of following your plan, and that just spirals into bad habits. But basically, this isn't just my story. It's something that I see over and over again with traders that I mentor. One of my students worked full-time with crazy hours, and she told me that she used to watch her charts for hours every day after work. It's not surprising that she was exhausted, and honestly, I think she was about to quit. But we sat down and we worked out a routine that worked for her and her life. We literally mapped out her schedule to find pockets of time that she could find to trade and hours that didn't require her to stay up in the middle of the night. And now she just do a couple of check-ins per day that doesn't really involve heavy analyzing because she knows exactly where she should be trading and she knows exactly what her trading plan is. So she waits for a setup, and if she doesn't see anything, then she just closes the charts. Simple as that. And a few weeks later, she sent me a message saying that she is spending less time on the charts and she's finally seeing progress in her trading, going from consistently losing trades to break-even stage, and then she went to the consistently profitable stage. And now she's crushing it because she knows exactly what she's looking for, and I want that for you too. So it doesn't matter if you're a manager or engineer, a mom or a caregiver, whatever you're doing, trading could fit into your life. But it's only if you create the structure in order to support it. Because without that, it'll keep feeling like a second job without the benefit of actually giving you money. And if this video has helped you so far, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you share this with 10 people to help them as well. And as a bonus for sticking around throughout this video, here's the biggest mistake that I see traders make when they have a full-time job. What I see people doing is trying to fit trading into every little pocket of time. I'm not talking just in terms of checking the charts, but they're also trying to see if they could haphazardly catch a move without having a real plan. Or maybe just because they have a few minutes before a meeting or some other place where they need to be. But that kind of scattered approach leads to inconsistent results and mental burnout. Because even though you may take the trade, you don't have the full confidence in your direction and if the trade will even play out. Now, obviously, no one has a crystal ball and we don't know if it's going to play out, but at least with planning, you have an idea of where price could go. And it's just like if you're making a recipe that you never made before and you're trying to make that, but you're also answering emails and doing laundry at the same time. With all those different things going on, it'll definitely be hard for you to make that recipe as it should be made. And you will probably miss some steps, maybe forget the salt, or maybe forget to turn up the heat on the oven. Whatever it is, it's kind of the same idea when you try to trade without having a plan. So the real breakthrough in trading comes when you prep before the chaos of the day starts. Even if that means just taking 10 to 15 minutes of focused time before work, in the mornings, or in the evening. This can completely change the way that you approach the markets. And during those blocks of time, you can check your levels, you can decide your bias, you can write out an if-then plan. And basically what that is if I see this, then I'll take the trade. If I don't see this, then I won't take the trade. As simple as that. So that way, if you see a setup that shows up later in the day, you already know what to do when you see it. And don't forget, you should be setting alerts on your chart as well. So basically, when you take this approach, you're not overthinking each trade. You're not scrambling at the last second and second guessing yourself whether or not it's going to work out or whether or not this setup is even good because you already know. When you see your setup, you're simply just following the playbook that you created ahead of time. And that's how professionals operate. And that's how you build confidence in the market. You don't trade more, you trade with a smarter plan. So let me leave you with this. Trading isn't just about building wealth. It is about creating options for yourself and for your family. It's about feeling like you don't have to take crappy jobs just to have some income coming in if you don't want to. Or you don't have to say yes to everything that comes your way because you have options with the market. And just maybe you can build something that supports your life instead of draining it. So if you're still at the stage where you're trying to figure things out and you want a clear plan without confusion, then consider joining the Trading Launchpad, where basically it'll give you the foundation that you need in order to trade with structure from day one. And if you've been in a game for a little bit, but maybe you're stuck in this grind of questioning your trades and not really sure about what you're doing, then the Profitable Traders Academy is where you're going to find the most acceleration the fastest, because I walked you through the exact system that gave me consistency inside of the markets and so many of my other students who are now able to trade with freedom and trade with confidence, even with a full-time job. Links for both of those programs are in the description below. And if this video helped you today and gave you just a little bit of feeling like I can totally do this, I can figure out how to make this work for me, then please share it with somebody who's trying to figure this out too. Make sure you share it with 10 people, like the video, subscribe to the channel, so that way you can make sure that you continue to grow as a trader. And that's how we grow here on this channel. And more importantly, this is how we help traders stop going in circles and finally feel like they're making progress in trading. So now that you know how to structure your time in trading, the next step is getting crystal clear on what to do during those blocks of time. So go ahead and click on any of the videos here on the screen to help you become a more consistent and profitable trader. I'll see you next time.